If you're a parent in 2026, I have some bad news. Your home network is a massive vulnerability. I'm not talking about your Wi-Fi password or a phishing email. I'm talking about the tablet or console that your kid is holding right now. As of a few days ago, Dutch regulators have launched yet another probe into Roblox. We're talking exposure to violent imagery, sexualized content, and predatory behavior that a multi-billion-dollar platform still can't seem to patch. Now, my son's only 3. He isn't raiding World of Warcraft yet, but he's already mastered the iPad shuffle to find blippy clips no matter how many times I block any channel that he's on. And it got me thinking. As a professional in FinTech, if I saw a platform with this many security breaches, I'd revoke its license to operate immediately. Today, we're conducting a full child safety audit. We're looking at Roblox, Fortnite, VRChat, and the partner social app in Discord, not just as games, but as unregulated markets for your child's attention. I'm going to give you the red line rules that I'm going to be using for my son, and why the don't take a candy from a stranger principle just got a 2026 hardware update. Let's start with the big one, Roblox. Parents who aren't in the gaming know, love it because it looks like Legos, but under the hood, it's a decentralized stock exchange of user-generated content. The problem with Roblox isn't just the game, it's the condos. These are the user-generated rooms that pop up, host sexually explicit roleplay for 20 minutes, and then vanish before the moderators even wake up. In my world, we call that a zero-day vulnerability. And then there's the gifting economy. If a stranger gives your kid 500 Robux, they aren't being a good teammate, they're building a social debt. It's the digital version of a stranger offering candy, but instead of a van, they're using a limited edition pet. Once the debt's established, the grooming begins. They've moved from stranger to investor, and they're going to want to make an ROI, usually in the form of your kid's real name, their location, or way worse. So here's the dad tip. If any game allows a stranger to gift your young child anything that has real-world monetary value, that's a red line. Security clearance is absolutely denied. Next up is Fortnite. While the content here is safer, Fortnite is allegedly the king of predatory monetization. In the past, regulators have hit them with massive fines for dark patterns. These are UI designs specifically built to bypass a child's impulse control. For a kid whose brain is still under construction, this is a targeted attack. These mechanics leverage social pressures. They make your kid feel like a default, a social pariah. If they don't have the newest skin, it's an artificial scarcity crisis. But the real security breach here is the open lobby protocol. You've got 10-year-old kids in voice chat with 30-year-olds. Even in 2026, AI masking, the risk of off-platform migration is massive. If an adult gamer says, hey, let's talk on Discord so we could coordinate better, that's an immediate system breach. Discord is where parental filters go to die. It's unmoderated, it's encrypted, and it's where the deal goes off the book. My personal strategy here is if my son wants to play Fortnite in the next 5 years, the no voice chat with strangers rule is an absolute non-negotiable. It's a closed-loop system, or it's nothing. Finally, the final boss of 2026, VRChat. This is the one that should honestly induce nightmares for any reasonable parent. VRChat recently rolled out age verification for all VRChat Plus subscribers because, and I am quoting the developers here, they are doubling down on attacking predatory behavior. The enhanced danger here is really in the presence. The intention of VR is to trick your brain so that you really think that you are in the room. This is especially worse with children. When a bad actor uses an avatar to corner a child, the kid's nervous system reacts as if it's happening in real life. For all intents and purposes, it bypasses the it's just a game logic. The tactical fix that I would suggest in this scenario is if your kid's in VR, and I mean any sort of social multiplayer VR game, you as a parent implement the casting protocol. If the headset's on, the view must be cast to the living room TV. No total immersion behind closed doors. If I can't see the environment and hear what the conversation's about, then my kid who's under 10 is not playing that game. So how do we manage all this without being the fun please parent or the helicopter dad? Well, we use the risk management playbook. So here's the nap time audit rules that I'm implementing for my kid. Number 1 is the mirroring protocol that we just talked about. If it's a VR game, it gets mirrored to the family TV or a monitor that I can see at all times. Transparency is the only way to audit content in real life. If the connection drops, the game stops, no exceptions. Number 2 is the Discord red line. Party chat with actual real-life friends from school, that's a managed asset. It's fine. But Discord in itself is a hard red line. If you want your kid on Discord, then I heavily suggest that you use the Discord Family Center. It gives you a summary and an overview of who they're talking to and what servers they've joined. If they refuse to link their account, well, sorry, but for my kid, then his security clearance is absolutely revoked. Number 3 is the gamification audit. Keep an eye out for loot boxes and gotcha mechanics. If a game asks your kid to pay money for a chance to win something, that's not a game, it's an unregulated casino for minors. In my world, that's a toxic asset. We don't invest time or money into games that teach our kids the dopamine loop of a slot machine before they've learned long division. Last but not least, arguably the most important, is the migration red flag. Teach your kids this. The moment any stranger online asks your kids to move the conversation to another app, I don't care if it's Snapchat, Telegram, Discord, or even just DMs, that's a system failure. That is the don't take candy rule on steroids for 2026. Explain to them that anyone who wants to hide from the group chat is a bad actor, every single time. Look, I'm a gamer. I want my son to love this hobby, but I want him to do it on safe assets. What I don't need is him parading around in the 2026 equivalent of a Habbo hotel or an IMVU and being exposed to predatory behaviors either directed towards his mental state of well-being or towards his wallet. The 2026 landscape when it comes to gaming and social interactions has shifted massively, but also not too much in the underlying behaviors all at the same time. As a responsible parent, it's our job to audit the hardware, audit the games, and be the head of security for our own homes. If this briefing helped you to get your home network under control, join our board of directors by hitting the subscribe button. We're building a community of parents who care about tech, gaming, and protecting the next generation of gamers. I'm the Naptime Dad, and remember, the only grinding we do is for coffee beans. I'll catch you in the next one.